Recently, what has he done in this book cafe, a book study? We can see that the people come in and out, and this Enzhong brother, he's always there to seize a moment. Be it they come for the Chinese tea or Jing-Si aphorism, so like or they come in for the song of masters or the book, anything, this brother will seize the chance to share with them. This is our adorable brother Enzhong. He will share with us. But because of his very busy and the pandemic issue, so he'll be going around with the Jing-Si product. So he asked because of that, a lot of things are. So he asked if he can share online. Okay, over to you, Brother Andrew.
Yes, let us connect to Taipei to welcome Brother Enzhong. Yes, good, Brother Enzhong is here with us. Good morning to everyone. Brothers and sisters, now it's almost afternoon. Grateful to have this opportunity. Okay, so you should call Teacher Mayun as a sister, not aunt. Okay. So now because of the pandemic, yes, the cases has kept rising. So many of our staff has been contracted. And today I'll be sharing the topic on the actions of the heart during pandemic. Actually, one thought could move the 3,000 worlds because all things are created by the mind, and then the thoughts will lead to actions. So whenever we use our human eye to look at things or people, we will always be judging whether it's good or evil, wholesome, unwholesome. But all these are in our thoughts. Most important is our heart and mind has to be right, has to be wholesome. And the Buddha taught us the Four Noble Truths. And what are the truths? Truths are actually the natural principles that will not change. It is everlasting. So what Buddha taught 2,500 years ago and Master taught 50 years ago, these are all still applicable till today and even to the future. So this is really the nature true principle. These are the truths. And if you look at this picture, this is the building of the leprosy center. And Master will call this place a pure land. Because even though the residents here, they have contracted leprosy, but their hearts are filled with love and kindness. And when Master visited them, Master would give them a hug. And some of the disciples will say, Masters, you should not be too close to them because you might contract the disease. But Master replied that if I had planted the seeds in the past, I would still contract the disease, even though I do not touch them. So we have to be clear. We have to understand the principles. And because of the seeds that we have planted in the past, even without having to run away, we will still be contracting the illness, and vice versa. And because of the pandemic, we have to go to the community to show our care and concern, for our fellow colleagues who had contracted the COVID-19. And some of our staff had contracted this COVID, and some of the volunteers will ask whether our staff are they full-time vegetarian, and actually all those who have contracted COVID, they are also vegetarian. And actually, we cannot be asking whether are you a vegetarian? And are you still contracting the COVID-19? So actually, how should we show our care for our fellow volunteers? And how did our master say? And when we are promoting vegetarian to others, did we present in a way that if you're vegetarian, you will not be getting the COVID? So actually, did Master really say this? Did Master ever say that if you are a vegetarian, if you are doing Shu Qi and you are learning Buddhism, you will not be contracting the COVID? No, actually not. And Master didn't really say this. Okay, because sentient beings, when there are illness, there should be a treatment, the medicine for it. So if the heart is ill, the medicine should be the Dharma. And Master have never said that if you are active in Shu Qi and you're doing a lot of good deeds, you will not contract the disease. Master says that if there is no past causes and present conditions ripening, then they will not be the result of contracting the COVID-19. And actually, Master says that the pandemic is due to the collective karma created by many of us in the world, because we have been killing many animals for food. So there has been a lot of unwholesome karma being created, and all these are being collectively gathered together, and when the conditions ripen, the pandemic will result. So there has to be causes and conditions in order for the results, the consequences to appear. So yes, without any of this, there will not be the effects. So just like when we plant the seeds, if we do not put in the fertilizers or give it the sunlight and water, the plant will not grow. So actually, in the past, did we created the cause and the causes? And in the present, whether did we create the conditions for the causes to ripen? And actually, we don't have the supernatural power to see whether in our past lives have we been vegetarian, and whether have we ever come any lives. There's no way for us to tell. So we could have planted all these causes in the past without us knowing right now in the present. And not just eating meat, whether in the past did we really through our speech did we cause any harm to others, through our verbal actions, and did we plant good seeds in the past or the unwholesome evil seeds? And why is Water Repentance Sutra so special? It's actually because everyone could practice this sutra, and everyone actually needed it. Our karma cannot be avoided, cannot be prevented if it has been created in the past. And actually, the virus, it can be even be transmitted through water droplets in the air. And you could contract the virus, without knowing it. And there was a case where someone was staying alone for 20 over days, and he was staying alone, and yet he still contracted the COVID-19 virus. So how could this be possible? So sometimes it's unexplainable, but really, if you look at it from the law of karma, we know that this is really the causes and conditions ripening. And the past causes coupled with the present conditions, we will be experiencing the retributions. And there was an activity, a city activity. My mother and me was attending this activity, and we interacted with some of the volunteers. And after that activity, my mother contracted the COVID-19, but yet I didn't. And my mother was nervous and asked me to buy the PCR test or the antigen rapid test to do the testing. But at that time, it was very high demand, and it was expensive. So I bought 5 pieces and let my mother do the swab test. And my dad came out and saw that, and I bought 5 pieces, and there were so many. So this brother says, me and my mom already, if we contracted, you will also be contracting, so I need to buy more. But my father says that's not necessarily true, because if I didn't have the cause, and I will not be getting the retributions. And in our Jing-Si cafe and bookstore, we will have a regular meeting. As one day, I went to one of the shops, and it so happened that these shops, and some of them contracted the virus. And so they were getting nervous, and they wanted everyone who have been there to take the swab test. And at that time, we had a meeting in our Jing-Si cafe. So I told everyone that if I were to attend this meeting and everyone contracted the virus, then it is kind of like fated. And the enlightened beings, because we do not have wisdom eye, we will be suspicious, and we will be blaming each other and abusing others, blaming others for transmitting the virus to us. So the other person, it's just they are the conditions, but I am really the cause of contracting the virus. So there has to be cause and conditions present. So we cannot be blaming others if we do not have the primary cause in us. And so we shouldn't be blaming and suspecting others. Instead, we should be caring for each other, especially those who have contracted. And as the pandemic is getting worse in Taiwan, and the demand for herbal drinks, as the Jing-Si herbal drinks has greatly increased. And before the pandemic started, we used to sell just 5 packets of the herbal drinks, but now we are selling like 50 packets a day. And everybody is like placing their orders, and the order books are really very thick, like 50, 60 pages. And our staff would need to make phone calls and to inform them and to explain to them about the shortage, out of stocks, and they have to be put on waiting lists, and they have to wait. And and recently, when we go to the convenience store like 7-Eleven, and we realize that there are more and more vegetarian offerings, vegetarian food. So one day I went to the convenience store, and saw the staff was very, very busy, handling all the customers' orders and requests. And as I was having my meals, I was looking at observing the staff at this convenience store, and they have a lot of SOP, and one person has to do many, many tests, and is really overwhelmed with all the works. And I found out, and I've realized that this staff was really amazing. There's a long queue of customers, and he has to attend to everyone, and he's so busy. And I was thinking, if I'm in his position, and I'm in such a situation, I will be dead tired, tired like a dog. And when I go home, it will be so tiring. I won't be talking to anyone. And when I have a vacation, I will be thinking I should enjoy myself, to reward myself after working so hard. And when I'm working, I will just put in my best effort and do my best, and I'll be tired like a dog, like a little dog. And I'll be, when I'm not working, I'll be going out to enjoy. So it's like this is a cyclical routine. So the question is, are we doing, with all the busyness, are we tired like a dog, or should we be busy like a bodhisattva? Yes, this is everyone. When you are doing Shiji works, are you really blessed? Yes, confirm. It's confirmed, guaranteed that you are really blessed if you are doing Shiji works, because you will be really busy like a bodhisattva. And there's so much things to do, and that is truly a blessing. And Master says that the bodhisattva path, the final destination, it's endless, it's boundless, because there are endless suffering sentient beings. There's no ending. So we have to keep on doing. So let us take stock of our life. Did we live a mindless or down-to-earth life? So we are all busy in our daily life, regardless if you're working in a corporate or you're working in Jing-Si bookstore. So the question is that we ask ourselves, do we have the aspirations, the vows, to walk this bodhisattva path? So we all know that giving, there are different forms of giving, of material wealth, of dharma, and selfless giving. So what are vows that we made to do Shiji? There's one time I received a call from a female caller, and she was asking whether do you sell the anti-COVID tea? So it's actually the Jing-Si herbal tea. However, we have ran out of stock, and you have to wait like 2 weeks. So the caller says that my whole family, there are 3 of us, And my husband has contracted the virus, and all of us are in isolation. And I'm so worried that it might affect my son. And my husband had tried to call the hospital, 3 hospitals, but he's unable to get any PCR testing. So she was really helpless, and she really needed someone to help them. So one of our staff actually have kept some balanced stocks for emergency use in case of any urgent needs. So our staff actually told the caller that, yeah, can you leave your number with us? Let me check whether we have any more balanced stock that we could deliver to you. So when we confirm that we have stock, I return a call to this caller. We have some balanced concentrated herbal liquid that you could give it to your husband. And the caller actually said, okay, she will ask her brother to come and collect the Jing-Si herbal concentrate. And I explained to the brother on how to use this. And the lady caller was very, very grateful. And she was asking, how can I repay your kindness? And our brother Enzhong says that, no, it's all because of good conditions. Okay, it's so happened that when you call, we still have some balanced stocks. So this is it's your own good cause and conditions. And we are truly grateful to Master that we have the Jing-Si herbal drink for us to alleviate the COVID-19 symptoms. And so this one day, I was on leave and I went back home, but there was a call, a female lady call, and says that I was asking for the Jing-Si herbal drink. Can you sell me your Jing-Si herbal drink? Because my whole family of 5 and we are all worried about contracting the virus. And now I'm queuing up in front of your city hospital to do the PCR test. And can you please sell me the herbal drink, the Jing-Si herbal drink? You know, and there was our staff was worried, you know, how to fulfill the request. And it so happened that we still have one box of the Jing-Si herbal drink. So we decided to sell this to this lady. But this lady was very nervous and asked, you know, are you willing to accept my cash, my money? Because will you be afraid of contracting the virus? So actually, our city staff says that, no, we are not worried. We're not worried. You know, please come and collect the Jing-Si herbal drink. And actually, we don't need to worry about this, you know, contracting the disease from these suffering sentient beings. Because we have a heart to save them, to help them. So we are not worried at all. And I could feel, when I go among the people who are queuing up for the PCR test, wearing my mask and goggle and to deliver the Jing-Si herbal drink, I could see myself going into these people, and then I managed to find the lady who called and passed the Jing-Si herbal drink to her. When I went to inside the Ziji hospital, and I would sanitize my whole body, the hands, and even the notes, the money notes that I've received, and there's even a UV rays to disinfect the virus. So even the notes has been disinfected. And when some of these people who had contracted the COVID-19, we can understand that they will be feeling very distressed and very worried and anxiety because of the unknown and the illness. So that is really the time for us to give them the comfort and the care and give them a hug. And actually, why do we work? Is it because of the salary, or because of the vacations or the benefits that we receive? No, even in working in Jing-Si Book Cafe, our salary is not high. We're receiving relatively lower salary, but yet why are we doing this? Because we want to help people, and we're doing our utmost best to contribute selflessly. And we are always hearing the term collective karma. There's collective karma and individual karma. Different people who have contracted the COVID will have different impact because it really depends on their karma. And each of us has our own karma and our own blessings and our own conditions. And so it really depends on the individual karma, even though collectively many of us have contracted the virus. So there is also the effect of long COVID, because some of the patients, they would be suffering from the effect of long COVID, but not everyone. Oh, it is reminding that time is coming up. And the long COVID effect, it will affect the brain of the patient, and once in a while he will have this huge headache, and some of them it will affect their sense of smell. Whatever that they smell, it will smell bad. It's really bad smell. Even though the food is normal, but they will smell it. The senses will smell it like really bad. So some of the patients, they do not have the appetite to eat because of the smell. So everyone has different forms of sufferings. So even though we have this collective karma in Taiwan and affected by the pandemic, now there are also the individual karma. So it's not true that if you are a vegetarian and you have a 实际 volunteers, you will not get COVID. No, the fixed karma cannot be changed, but conditions can be created. So we should form more positive affinities with others. Seize the moment. Do our utmost best to contribute selflessly. And when faced with challenges, we should accept the conditions willingly, to exhaust the past bad karmas. So we are doing Tzu Chi is because not for ourselves. It's not for our own benefit, but rather it's to help sentient beings, to alleviate the sufferings of other sentient beings. So if we are willing to accept whatever karmas we're facing, willingly, and this can be, the karma can be exhausted. And a lot of our volunteers who have contracted the COVID. So when we face this virus, when we contracted, we should accept it willingly, and we should be grateful that we have a human body, and that can allow us to learn the Buddha, the Dharma, and to practice the Bodhisattva vows. And let us pray for all our brothers and sisters, for them to recover and to repent on our past karma. And this is our chance to exhaust our bad karmas. And for those who have not contracted, let us do our best to contribute and to help many, many others. And this is what Bodhisattvas should do and practice. So may all blessings to everyone. Wow, Brother Enzhong, you have a great applause. Yes. Today you have amazed us based on your vows, your Bodhisattva vows. We are grateful to Brother Enzhong for your wisdom sharing. And Brother Enzhong is really like his father. But actually, the son is more handsome, better looking than the father. So our young volunteers and commented that Brother Enzhong is so amazing, and give him lots of thumbs up. And Brother Enzhong is really our role model, our idol. He's really talented orally, and also written in his written writing skills and talents. And we found out that his PPT writings are all very good, and so his writing skill will be good, as well as oratory skills. And we are really glad that Jing-Si, the humanistic Jing-Si, her culture, to have Brother Enzhong, who is able to share the Dharma. It is young and good looking, and has very well upbringing by his family. And Brother Enzhong has shared with us the stories that he had encountered during this pandemic. Okay, so let's come to the last session, and I'll pass on to Sister Lily.